YouTube, what we are going to do today is we're going to use Cricut's Infusible pens and some sketch files, and we're going to decorate some microfiber towels. These are 16 by 24 microfiber dish towels that you can hang up in your kitchen. And the nice thing about these is that because basically the infusible ink is a knockoff sublimation product, you can actually use these. They're not just decorative that you hang. You can clean with them, wash them, dry them, and because it infuses with the fabric, you can actually even technically bleach them and still hang them up and they'll be good to go. Because what sublimation does is it has to go on polyester, and when the fibers of the polyester open up, the ink bonds with the fabric and then is in there. So it's never coming out. It also won't fade or crack or peel. So now I will warn you, this is a bit of an expensive project, but it's kind of a fun one. The Cricut Infusible inks get a bit of a bad rap because they are expensive, but it's a good way to get your feet wet with sublimation without having to buy the $500-600 printer. Because basically this all works the exact same way as sublimation, and you can play with it and make some projects if you want to, but you're not committed to a $600 printer. So, but let me go show you what you need. All right, so we're using the markers today, but this exact same process would work with the sheets. You would do it the exact same way as we did with this sublimation garden flag. We made this in another video, but this technique would also work on the towel as well. Instead of doing it on this garden flag, you would do it on the towel. But it's the exact same idea and it'll work. All of this stuff will work on anything that's polyester. More polyester, the better. So, but we're just going to do it with the pens today and some sketch files. All right. So what you're going to need is the Cricut Infusible ink markers. They come in 0.1 and 0.4 sizes, and then each size comes in 2 colors. So the standard kind of colors and then this neon set of colors. I would recommend leaving them in the package as long as you can, or buy them close to when you want to use them because they tend to dry out. These guys to me seem to dry out faster than the fatter markers. And then see the finer markers I like for all the details. So this one and this one are both a 0.4, and then this fatter one up here is the 1. So depending on your project, and these are single line sketch files that are meant for drawing. That's why you're not getting the double. And depending on your project, you might want the fatter lines or the skinnier lines. But I really like them for the detail. So all of this, and then I messed up a martini glass on the back. This is my mess up towel. But see, like all of this detail would have been lost with the fatter market. You're also going to need to reverse it in the machine. I didn't, and that's why it's backwards. So you're also going to need a towel. These are microfiber dish towels. They're 80% polyester and 20% poly something else. So, but the nice thing about these, like I said, is you can wash them and dry them because it's inside the fabric. They are a little pricey. They're like $15 for 4 of them. So keep that in mind too, but you can actually use them. So, and then this is my well-loved mat that I use for all my paper. You're also going to need paper. So what Cricut says is to use premium laser paper. This is some paper I had that's bigger that I cut down because we don't need huge pieces of paper, but the reason they say that is because this paper is smoother than regular copy paper, and I think it's a little easier for the markers to write on. So just keep that in mind. If your markers are wanting to skip or things like that, you might want to try some of the more expensive paper, basically. But you can get it to work with regular cardstock as well, too. And then we're going to need marker holders. You can do this project with any of the Cameos. I prefer this is the Chomas marker holders. I prefer hers over silhouettes. I'm not a big fan of silhouettes. These are really easy to use, and you have 2 pieces. So, but she came out with a new one for the 4 because the holder's bigger. So you can use this with either any of the old machines, 1, 2, or 3, or the 4. As long as you have a pen holder, you can use them. Heat tape to hold our paper down when we're heat press, and you're going to need a heat press too. Heat press or one of the Cricut Easy Presses. Sublimation generally is not possible with an iron. It doesn't get hot enough or long enough with an iron. So heat tape. And then because this mat is so well loved, you're really going to want a well loved mat for this, because when we're drawing on it, it's really going to want to stick to the mat. So really well loved mat, or else it's probably going to stick to your mat. And then I've been using painter's tape to tape my paper down so it doesn't move around. So, and let's go set it up in the software and we'll get drawing. All right, so we are doing this. These are single line sketch files. These are from my webpage. I do have a free one up there. It's a heart if you have never played with a sketch file and you want to. Now, they're called single line sketch files because they draw like you do. So see, this is just Arial that I typed out. See how you get the box? You're not going to get these with the sketch files. So this is some mandala tea things I made eons ago. I'll put this design up on the webpage. This font is a sketch font. It's called Pen Setter Sketch, and I'll leave the link to it. It's a really nice font, so you can just type out whatever you want to, and then have the machine draw it, and it really looks like you've written it. So, and then if you want to kind of play with them, remember, instead of going up here to fill color, it's actually line color, and that's what's controlling the color. So now, important, which I didn't do on the little martini, you're going to grab all of this and flip horizontally, because we're going to flip it to put down the heat press, so therefore we need to flip it now. All right, so we're going to hit the send panel, and when you come over here, normally it's going to be like this, where it's just going to have all of it selected, but I want to do them in 3 different colors, so we're going to come over here to cut by line color, and you can get rid of this guy. So select what you want. So we're going to have to do this independently. So come down here to cardstock, and then sketch, and then sketch pen. I have pen and pen holder. It doesn't matter. I have an older version right now, so yours may not have that, depending on what version you have. I like a force of 10 and a speed of 2, because it just seems to, because you don't want it to have too much force and just like get stuck to your, stuck to your mat too much. Now the finer tip markers seem to be able to take a little bit more force, but if you want to use the fatter tip markers like we will over here for tea time, they really don't need a lot of force at all. So keep that in mind. And the punch tool is just there by default. Don't worry about it. And we're going to do this again. So cardstock plane, sketch pen, coming down to 10, and then a speed of 2. You have to do this for each one of them. Force of 10, speed of 2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to check this. The machine's going to run and do that one. Actually, we're going to check this one. I like for it to do the teapot first, because technically the cup is sitting on top of the teapot. So they overlap a little bit, and I want the cup on top. Anywho, you're going to click the one you want to do. The machine's going to do that one, and then you're going to unclick it, and then go to the next one that you want it to do, and it'll just draw that one. So I'm going to set up our mat, and let me show you how to get our pen holder in, and then it will let the machine draw it. This isn't really high tech. You're going to take your paper and tape it to your mat. I tape my paper to my mat. I'm going to get my holder, and it comes with a popsicle stick you're also going to need, and then whatever marker you're going to want to use. Okay, so I'm over at Cameo 4. I've got my good old trusty biology book. I don't know if you can see it. Biology book under here. You probably don't really need it for this one, but I just kind of keep it here all the time. And the reason I have it, if you haven't seen it in any of the other videos, is because it helps keep the mat more level, because this one steps up so much higher because of the roll feeder in here. So this is my marker holder, and pop it in. You're going to take your popsicle stick and you're going to feed it under there. So it's underneath your marker holder. And then we're going to do the teapot in purple. So drop it down, and then it's going to touch. You probably can't see it. It's just going to touch and rest on top of the popsicle holder. Now you don't have to like stab it by any means, but it just needs to rest on top of it. And then we're going to close this guy down. Make sure you remove your popsicle stick. And then we're going to listen to the very loud Cameo for Sing the Song of My People. Alright, so this guy is done. So we're going to take this marker out. Cap on it. We're going to do the little one in blue. So popsicle stick back under. Unscrew your little screw on your holder. And then drop this down until it just rests on top of the popsicle stick. You can see it right here. I don't know if you can see it on the video very well. And then screw this down until it's... Alright, so now we are going to uncheck the black teapot, and then we're going to check the purple teacup. And we are going to hit send. Alright, so our teacup is done. And take this guy out. And then I like to use the 1mm for the words. Or the 1.1. Or 1, I don't know if it's 1mm or not. But same idea. Marker. Rest on popsicle stick. And then we're going to unclick the cardstock, and then this one. We're going to click the words. Let it roll. Alright, so this is what it looks like. And generally, if it tears your paper a little bit, taking it off, it's fine. Now you're going to want to flip it over and peel the paper off the mat. There is your... No, so that is essentially a sublimation transfer now. And you're going to want 2 pieces of paper for your heat press. The heat press is set up to 400 degrees. We're going to heat press for a full minute. Now you're going to want 2 pieces of paper, one for the bottom of your heat press and one for the top of everything. And then you're also going to want to use a lint roller and lint roller off any lint. Because what happens is, so if you have a lint on here, what happens is when it goes to transfer, it transfers to the lint and not to your design. Or, sorry, it transfers to the lint and not to your actual fabric. And so what happens is when it gets washed or the lint gets moved, you're missing your part of your design. So now we are going to go over to the heat press. You're going to need this, and you're going to need your heat tape, which I, of course, can't find, but I will find in a minute. So we're standing in front of the 400-degree heat press. It's lovely in the summer. And I have it set for 60 seconds. I have my lint roller. We're going to lint roller it one more time. And then I've got butcher paper underneath my project, and I'm going to put it on top of it. I'm going to pre-press this one time, just for a couple of seconds, just to make sure any wrinkles are kind of out. Now I'm going to put this guy upside down. I'm going to cut off the bottom of this because just extra paper. So flip over. And center it the best you can. And then we're going to cut off heat tape, and I'm going to tape the top and the bottom. You don't have to heat tape the bejesus out of it, but it just helps to hold it in place so that it doesn't ghost. What ghosting is if it shifts, you kind of get like a shadow back behind it. Okay. So, we're going to put our paper on top and hope. Alright. So you're going to want to take, see you got some paint in front, so you're going to take your paper off, and then you're going to want to peel it. There we go. And there we go. That was all there was to it. I'll freely admit this is probably not the most practical or cheapest project I've ever brought to you, but it's kind of fun, and you can't fill any design on here at all. You can also do designs on the front and back. So this is my other one, and then on the back I did the martini design. You can see a little bit through, so that way you can probably actually do 4 on a towel and kind of get a little bit more of your money's worth. But I don't know, I really like this. My original idea was like was recipes. This one skipped a little bit, so I thought that would be kind of fun too. This is also a smaller towel, but I don't know. I like the idea that you can actually use these. You can bleach them. You can actually clean with them. Have something fun. And then actually kind of use it and be practical with it. So, please like and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions, let me know down below. And I'll be back with another tutorial soon. Thank you.